Space was quiet beyond Mars. The red planet moved in its slow path around the sun, calm and silent. No one on Earth could see the danger with their own eyes, but the warning came from deep space scanners placed far past Jupiter. Jay was the first to notice the signal shift. He worked inside a space defense control center buried under a mountain in South Korea. The room was large but simple. Screens covered the walls. Most days were slow. That day was different. "There is a distortion," Jay said softly. His voice did not shake, but his hands moved faster on the keyboard. Mira, who stood behind him, leaned closer. "Is it natural?" she asked. Jay zoomed in on the reading. The numbers did not match any known pattern. "No," he replied. "This is artificial. Something is pushing space aside. Something big." Across the room, Captain Day looked up from his station. He was calm, broad-shouldered, and quiet. "Show it on the main screen," he ordered. The image expanded across the wall. A dark tear opened in space like a wound. From it, shapes began to appear. Long metal bodies. Sharp edges. Thousands of lights. "Count them," Day said. Hannah, the youngest officer in the room, swallowed before speaking. "Still counting, sir. The numbers keep rising. 100, 500, 1,000. She stopped for a moment. "More are still coming through." It was an armada. On Earth, people continued their normal lives. Children went to school. Cars filled the streets. News channels played simple stories. But inside military command centers across the planet, leaders watched the same terrifying image. The alien fleet moved in perfect formation. Large command ships sat at the center. Smaller warships surrounded them like blades around a fist. Then a signal came. It was strong, clear, direct. Mira adjusted the frequency. The voice that filled the room was not human, but it was translated by advanced software. "People of Earth," the alien voice said, "your world is now under authority of the Galactic Council. Resistance will be met with total destruction. Prepare for occupation." Silence followed. Anna looked pale. "They are not asking," she whispered. "No," Day said. "They are not." Far above Earth's atmosphere, satellites recorded the alien fleet passing near Jupiter's orbit. The ships were massive, larger than any vessel humans had shown to the public. But what the aliens did not know was that Earth had not been weak. For 50 years, humanity had prepared in secret. After the first hidden contact decades ago, world leaders had agreed on one thing: Earth would never bow again. Deep under oceans and inside hollowed asteroids, shipyards had been built. New engines had been tested in silence. Weapons stronger than anything known in public records had been created. The human war fleet was real, and it was waiting. In a secure chamber below the control center, Commander Sun stood before a holographic map of the solar system. She was older than most officers, with steady eyes and firm posture. Around her stood representatives from different nations, including Yuri and Miho. "They will reach Mars orbit in 11 days at current speed," Yuri said. "That is if they do not accelerate," Miho added. Sun nodded. "And our fleet?" Yuri tapped the display. Blue lights appeared near Saturn and the asteroid belt. "In position. All divisions ready." Sun closed her eyes for a brief second. She remembered when she was a young cadet. The first secret alien probe had been found near the moon. It had watched Earth like a hunter watching prey. Humanity had watched back. "We intercept before they see Mars," Sun said firmly. "Earth will not become a battlefield." Back in the observation room, Jay kept tracking the alien fleet. The ships moved smoothly without fear. They believed Earth would surrender. "They are broadcasting again," Mira said. The alien voice returned, colder this time. "Failure to respond will be considered hostile intent." Day gave a small smile. "Then let them consider it hostile." Hannah looked at him in surprise. "Sir, we do not answer threats," Day replied. "We answer actions." In cities around the world, governments released a short public message. It did not mention the size of the fleet. It did not show images. It only said that an unidentified force had entered the solar system and that defense systems were active. Some people panicked. Others did not believe it. Social media filled with rumors. But in space, something else began to move. Near Saturn's rings, dark shapes separated from the shadows. They were enormous, long and heavy, built for war. The first human dreadnought powered up its engines. Its hull was black, designed to absorb light. Railgun towers lined its sides. Energy shield generators hummed to life. Inside the command deck, Era stood beside Captain Day, who had transferred from Earth to lead the fleet in person. "All ships report ready," Era said. Her voice was calm but her heart beat fast. "Maintain silence," Day ordered. No signals. No warnings. The human war fleet began to move. Hundreds of warships left their hidden positions. Cruisers, destroyers, carriers filled with autonomous drones. They formed lines across deep space between Mars and the approaching Armada. Back in the alien command ship, the alien admiral studied the empty space ahead. His sensors showed no resistance. "Primitive species," he said to his officers. "They do not even attempt defense." Then a new reading appeared. A massive energy signature. Then another. And another. Within minutes, thousands of human vessels appeared on alien sensors. The alien admiral narrowed his eyes. Impossible. On the human flagship, Sun watched the alien fleet slow slightly as they detected the trap. "They see us now," Mira said from her station. The image of Mars glowed faint red behind the human lines. "Distance to Mars?" Day asked. 200 million kilometers, Era replied. Day nodded. "Good. They will go no farther." The alien fleet changed formation. Their outer ships moved forward like a shield wall. "They are preparing weapons," Hannah reported. Day's expression did not change. "Hold position." The human fleet did not move. They floated in perfect silence, engines low, shields steady. On Earth, leaders watched through secure feeds. Citizens did not yet understand how close danger had come. Sun opened a private channel to all human ships. "Remember your training," she said softly. "We defend our home. Nothing more. Nothing less." Across thousands of vessels, men and women listened. Jay adjusted targeting systems. Mira checked shield power. Yuri monitored long-range scanners. Miho prepared drone squadrons. Each of them felt fear, but it was controlled fear. The alien admiral sent one final message. "Humanity, kneel, and your extinction will be delayed." Day looked at the message and then at the red glow of Mars behind them. "No reply," he said. Seconds stretched long. Then alien ships fired. Bright lines of plasma crossed the darkness, racing toward the human formation. On the flagship, warning lights flashed. "Incoming," Hannah shouted. Day stood tall. Shields to full. Blue energy fields expanded around every human vessel. The first alien blast struck. Space filled with light. The battle for Earth had begun long before the alien Armada could even see Mars. The bright light of alien plasma faded, but the human war fleet still held its line. Blue shields shimmered in space like a wall of calm water. The first attack had struck with force, yet the human ships did not break formation. Inside the flagship, Commander Sun watched the shield levels drop slightly, then rise again as power systems adjusted. "Damage report," she said. Era checked her screen. "Minor surface impact on outer shields. No hull damage. All ships stable." Jay allowed himself one slow breath. The alien weapons were powerful but not powerful enough. On the alien command ship, the admiral stared at the battle display. He had expected human ships to explode in the first strike. Instead, the wall of vessels still blocked his path to Mars. "Increase output," he ordered. "Focus fire on their center line." Thousands of alien cannons glowed again. Another wave of plasma storms raced forward. This time, Captain Day spoke calmly. "Prepare railguns. Target enemy front destroyer line. Fire on my mark." Across the fleet, massive railgun chambers loaded solid tungsten rounds. Each projectile was simple metal, but it would travel at a speed close to light. The alien barrage struck once more. Human shields flared brighter than before. Some ships shook, but none fell. "Mark," Day said. A second later, the human war fleet answered. There was no bright color, no dramatic beam, only thin lines that moved too fast to see. Then the alien destroyers began to vanish. One ship split in half. Another lost its command tower. A third exploded from the inside as the railgun slug pierced through its reactor core. In less than 10 seconds, the front alien line was gone. Hannah stared at her screen. Direct hits across the board. Enemy formation breaking. On the alien flagship, alarms sounded. Officers shouted in confusion. "What weapon is that?" one demanded. The admiral's face darkened. "Kinetic impact, at extreme velocity. Primitive, but devastating." Primitive or not, it worked. Back on the human flagship, Sun kept her voice steady. "Advance 2%. Maintain distance from Mars." The fleet moved forward slowly, like a single living creature. Engines burned low and controlled. Mira activated electronic warfare systems. Invisible waves of interference spread across space. "Enemy targeting systems are unstable," she reported. "Their sensors are losing lock." Miho released the first drone squadrons. Small, fast machines poured from carrier bays and raced toward the alien ships. The alien admiral ordered countermeasures, but human interference blocked clear signals. Confusion grew among alien ranks. One by one, more alien ships fell to precise railgun strikes. Human targeting systems adjusted instantly, guided by advanced artificial intelligence. Jay monitored the battlefield with sharp focus. "Enemy cruisers charging heavy weapons," he warned. Day nodded. "Prepare shield rotation." Human ships shifted shield angles, spreading energy to meet the next blast. The alien cruisers fired together. This time, the force was greater. 2 human ships flickered under the pressure. One lost part of its outer armor. Era's hands tightened. "Damage on the left flank. Minor casualties reported." Sun lowered her head briefly in respect. Even in victory there was cost. "Return fire," Day said. Another synchronized railgun volley tore through the alien cruiser line. Explosions lit the dark space between Earth and Mars. The red planet glowed in the distance, silent witness to the battle. On Earth, military leaders watched the live feed. People in cities now knew the truth. The alien armada was real, but so was the defense. In homes and streets, fear slowly turned into hope. Back in space, the alien admiral realized this was not a simple invasion. This was war against an equal. "Deploy supercarrier," he ordered. From the center of the alien formation, a massive vessel moved forward. It was larger than any other ship in the Armada. Its hull was layered with heavy armor. A single main cannon extended from its front. "Energy spike detected," Jay said quickly. "Their central ship is charging something large." Hannah's voice trembled slightly. "Power levels are extreme. It could damage multiple ships at once." Day looked at Sun. She gave a single nod. "All fleets, concentrate fire on the central supercarrier," Day commanded. Human railguns adjusted aim. Drone swarms changed direction. Even smaller missile pods prepared to launch. The alien supercarrier glowed brighter as its weapon charged. Space around it distorted under the energy buildup. "Time to fire estimated at 40 seconds, Mira said. "We will not give them that time," Sun replied. "Fire!" The largest volley yet left the human war fleet. Dozens of railgun rounds struck the supercarrier's shields. The first impact caused visible cracks in its defense field. The second wave broke through entirely. Drones swarmed its surface, attacking weapon ports and shield emitters. At 20 seconds to alien firing, one railgun slug pierced directly through the main cannon chamber. The supercarrier exploded from the inside. A bright flash expanded outward, then faded into debris and silent fragments. The alien formation collapsed into chaos. On the alien flagship, shock filled the command deck. Their most powerful ship had fallen before it could fire. "Retreat pattern," one officer suggested. The admiral hesitated. Pride battled fear inside him. But more human ships were advancing. Back on the flagship, Era allowed herself a small smile. Primary threat eliminated. Day remained serious. Do not celebrate. Continue pressure. Human ships advanced another small distance. The gap between the fleets closed, but Mars still remained far behind the human line. Mira scanned long range. Enemy morale dropping. Several ships attempting to pull back. Sun crossed her arms. They expected an easy victory. Jay nodded quietly. They misjudged Earth. The alien admiral finally spoke. Full withdrawal. Regroup beyond Jupiter. But the human war fleet did not allow escape. Fast interceptor ships moved to cut off retreat paths. Drone swarms harassed engines and navigation systems. Railgun fire continued, controlled and precise. Not wild. Not angry. Just effective. One by one, alien vessels were disabled or destroyed. The battle did not last long after the supercarrier's fall. Within hours, half the Armada was gone. The remaining ships drifted damaged and powerless. On the human flagship, silence filled the command room again. Enemy main force neutralized, Hannah reported softly. Sun looked at the holographic map. The red dot of Mars was still untouched. Earth was safe behind them. Status of our fleet? She asked. Minor damage to 6 ships, Era replied. Casualties limited. Sun closed her eyes for a moment of relief. Captain Day turned his gaze toward the surviving alien command ship. They came to conquer, he said quietly. They will leave as a warning. The human war fleet adjusted formation once more, surrounding the last operational alien flagship. On the alien bridge, the admiral stared at the image of human warships closing in. For the first time since entering the solar system, he felt fear. Mars shone faintly through the view screen. They had not even reached it. And already the war was lost. The broken remains of alien ships floated in silence. Fire and metal drifted slowly between the stars. The human war fleet held its position, engines low, weapons ready. Mars still burned red in the distance, calm and untouched. On the alien flagship, the admiral stood very still. Half of his fleet was gone. The rest were damaged or surrounded. He had never faced such resistance from a young species. Open channel, he ordered. Back on the human flagship, Hannah looked at her screen. Incoming transmission from enemy command ship. Captain Day folded his hands behind his back. Audio only. The alien admiral's voice filled the room. It no longer sounded proud. Human commanders, you have proven strength. Cease fire and we will withdraw beyond your system. This conflict does not need to continue. No one spoke for a few seconds. Commander Sun stepped forward. They threatened Earth with destruction, she said quietly. Now they speak of peace. Mira watched the alien ship carefully. Their engines are trying to restart. They may attempt escape. Day nodded once. Send response. Sun's voice was calm when she spoke into the channel. You crossed into our system with weapons charged. You declared authority over Earth. You fired first. You will not leave as if this was a mistake. The alien admiral's eyes hardened. Then you force our hand. Before the channel closed, Jay shouted, energy spike from enemy flagship. The damaged alien command ship began to glow. It was charging a hidden weapon deep inside its core. All ships, defensive spread, Day ordered. Human vessels shifted smoothly, creating distance between one another while keeping the alien flagship surrounded. The alien weapon fired. A wide beam of dark energy shot outward, tearing through space. One human cruiser was caught at the edge of the blast. The shields failed instantly. The hull cracked open. Inside the flagship, silence filled the room. Era's voice shook slightly. Cruiser Dauntless is gone. No survivors. Sun closed her eyes for a moment. Then she opened them again, stronger. End this, she said. Day gave the command without raising his voice. Full fire authorization. Every human warship locked onto the alien flagship. Railguns loaded. Missile bays opened. Drone swarms gathered like a storm cloud. Fire. The void exploded with movement. Railgun rounds struck first, smashing through weakened shields. Missiles followed, breaking apart outer armor. Drones slipped into openings and attacked power systems from within. The alien flagship tried to raise shields again, but it was too late. A final railgun round pierced straight through the center of the ship. For a brief second, nothing happened. Then the alien command vessel tore itself apart in a massive flash of light. Fragments scattered in every direction. The leader of the Armada was gone. Across the battlefield, remaining alien ships went silent. Some powered down their weapons. Others drifted without control. Miho monitored the sensors carefully. Enemy coordination has collapsed. They are acting individually now. Yuri added, several ships are sending surrender codes. Sun looked at the display showing Mars behind the fleet. Secure the survivors. Disable engines. No unnecessary destruction. The human war fleet moved with discipline. Interceptor ships approached damaged alien vessels and shut down their reactors with precise strikes. Boarding drones attached to hulls and forced systems offline. There was no cheering. No loud celebration. Only steady work. Back on Earth, people watched the battle through delayed broadcasts. They saw alien ships explode far away from their planet. They saw human vessels stand strong. Fear began to fade. Hope grew stronger. In the control room, Hannah finally allowed herself to breathe normally. They never even reached Mars, she said softly. Jay nodded. They thought we were divided. Weak. Day looked at the floating debris field. They saw only what we allowed them to see. Sun turned toward the larger star map. Beyond Jupiter lay the vast darkness of the galaxy. Somewhere out there was the Galactic Council that had approved this invasion. This Armada did not act alone, she said. Mira agreed. Long-range scans show retreat signals sent before their flagship was destroyed. Someone out there knows what happened here. Silence filled the room again. The battle near Mars was over. But something bigger had begun. Hours later, rescue teams searched the destroyed human cruiser. There was little to recover. The loss weighed heavily on every officer. Sun stood alone in a quiet chamber, looking at the image of Earth rotating slowly in space. She remembered the secret meetings years ago. The long debates about whether humanity should prepare for war or trust the stars. They had chosen preparation. It had saved them. A soft knock came at the door. It was Era. All alien ships are secured or destroyed, Era reported. Prisoners transferred to holding modules. Sun nodded. Casualty count? Lower than expected, Era replied. But not zero. Sun placed her hands behind her back. There is no victory without cost. Meanwhile, on a damaged alien cruiser that had surrendered, surviving officers sat in silence. Through their view screen, they saw human warships moving in perfect order. One alien officer spoke quietly. They fight like veterans, not like a young species. Another answered, they were ready for us. Back on the human flagship, Jay detected a new signal coming from deep space. Commander, he said, turning to Sunday. There is a long-range probe beyond Jupiter. It has been watching the battle. Source? Sun asked. Unknown, but signal structure matches Galactic Council technology. Day's jaw tightened. Observers. Sun looked toward the outer darkness of the solar system. Let them watch. She stepped closer to the communication console. Open a wide broadcast channel, she ordered. Mira hesitated for only a moment before activating it. Sun spoke clearly, knowing her words would travel far beyond Mars. This is Commander Sun of the United Human Defense Fleet. The alien armada that entered our system has been defeated. Earth remains under human protection. Any future hostile action will meet the same response. She paused. We do not seek conquest, but we will never kneel. The transmission carried into the deep black of space. Far away, hidden council observers recorded every word. On the flagship, Hannah looked at the battlefield one more time. The red glow of Mars reflected off the hull of their ship. It feels unreal, she said. Jay gave a small smile. It is real, and we are still here. Day turned toward the navigation officer. Set course to outer system. We will escort the prisoners to secure stations. After that, we prepare. Prepare for what? Hannah asked quietly. Sun answered before Day could speak. For whatever comes next. The human war fleet slowly changed direction, moving through the field of broken alien ships. Mars remained behind them, untouched and safe. Earth continued to spin peacefully, blue and alive. The alien armada that came to conquer had been destroyed before it could even see the red planet clearly. But beyond the edge of the solar system, the galaxy had taken notice. And humanity was no longer hidden. The battlefield near Mars slowly became quiet. Broken alien ships drifted in silence. Small rescue crafts moved between the debris, collecting survivors and scanning for hidden threats. The human war fleet stayed alert, weapons ready, but no new attack came. Commander Sun stood on the main deck of the flagship and watched the tactical map. Red warning signals were gone. Only blue markers of human ships remained. All enemy vessels accounted for, Yuri reported. No active weapons detected. Good, Sun replied. Begin long-range scan beyond Jupiter again. I want to know who was watching us. Jay adjusted the deep space sensors. The scanners pushed far past the orbit of Saturn, into the dark edge of the solar system. I am picking up the same probe as before, he said. It is moving away now. Fast. Day crossed his arms. It saw everything. Mira looked at the signal pattern carefully. Yes, the design matches Galactic Council technology. They did not expect this outcome. Sun's eyes hardened slightly. Then the galaxy now knows Earth is not defenseless. Far beyond the solar system, the Council probe sent its final report before jumping to faster-than-light travel. The data showed destroyed Armada ships, human fleet formations, and the broadcast message from Sun. Back near Mars, Hannah worked with the medical teams receiving injured crew from damaged human ships. She moved calmly, even though her heart felt heavy for the cruiser that had been lost. They saved Earth, she whispered quietly to herself. Miho joined her near the medical bay entrance. The families will know they were heroes, he said. Hannah nodded. Yes, but I wish heroes did not have to die. Miho had no answer for that. On the command deck, Sun called a meeting with her senior officers. Era, Day, Jay, Mira, Yuri, and Miho gathered around the holographic display. The solar system rotated slowly in blue light. Mars shone red. Earth glowed softly in the distance. The invasion is over, Sun began. But this was not a random attack. The Galactic Council approved it. That means they see us as a threat. Day looked at the outer edge of the map. Or as a resource. Either way, Sun continued. They underestimated humanity. That mistake cost them an armada. Jay zoomed out the display to show nearby star systems. If they choose to respond, it will not be small. Mira added, their pride will demand action. Silence settled over the group. Yuri finally spoke. What are our orders? Do we stay and wait? Sun thought for a moment. Then she made her decision. We do not hide behind Earth, she said. We move to the outer system. We show strength, not fear. Day gave a slight smile. A message without words. The human war fleet began to reposition. Massive dreadnoughts moved beyond Mars, forming a defensive line closer to Jupiter. Carriers deployed drone patrols across wide areas of space. Earth remained protected, but humanity was no longer only defending its doorstep. Days passed. Repairs continued. Damaged ships were restored. New supply vessels arrived from hidden shipyards within the asteroid belt. On Earth, world leaders addressed the public openly. They revealed the existence of the secret defense fleet. They explained that preparation had saved the planet. Many citizens were shocked. Others felt proud. Children looked at the sky differently now. In the flagship's quiet observation room, Hannah stood beside Jay, watching the stars. Do you think they will come again? She asked. Jay answered honestly. Yes, but not the same way. Before she could reply, an alert sounded across the deck. Long-range jump signature detected, Mira called out. All officers rushed back to their stations. On the main display, a ripple formed beyond Jupiter. It was not as large as the previous Armada, but it was powerful. Number of ships? Day asked. Unknown, Yuri replied. Signal structure is different. This is not an attack formation. The ripple faded. A single large vessel appeared. It was sleek and silver with no visible weapons. Council envoy ship, Mira said quietly. Sun studied the new arrival. Open wide communication channel. The alien ship sent a transmission almost immediately. Human fleet, a calm voice said. This is envoy representative of the Galactic Council. We request dialogue. Day raised an eyebrow. Dialogue now? Sun nodded. They lost their army. Now they want to talk. She stepped forward and activated the reply. This is Commander Sun of Earth. State your purpose. The alien voice remained steady. The Council did not predict your level of advancement. We seek clarification of your intentions. Mira whispered softly. They are afraid. Sun kept her tone even. Our intention is simple. We defend our home. We do not invade others. There was a pause before the envoy responded. The previous action was based on outdated classification. Earth was labeled unstable and divided. Day gave a short laugh. Outdated information can be dangerous. Sun continued. Your Armada threatened extinction. That is not diplomacy. The envoy's image appeared on the screen for the first time. His features were unfamiliar but not hostile. The Council acknowledges the loss, it said. Further aggression would not be beneficial to either side. Yuri leaned closer to the display. They want peace. Sun nodded slowly. Then hear this clearly. Earth will not join the Council under threat. Earth will not surrender authority. But Earth is willing to exist peacefully. The envoy seemed to consider the words. Your fleet strength is significant, it admitted. You have altered the balance of power in this sector. Jay whispered. Good. The envoy finished. The Council proposes a ceasefire agreement and future negotiations under equal status. Silence filled the human command deck. Equal status. For the first time, humanity was not being ordered. Sun looked at her officers. Each of them understood what this moment meant. We accept a ceasefire, Sun replied. Terms will be reviewed carefully. Any violation will be answered immediately. Understood, the envoy said. The silver ship powered down its engines slightly, holding position near Jupiter but outside weapon range. After the channel closed, Hannah let out a long breath. So it is over? Day shook his head gently. No, it is changing. Sun looked once more at Mars glowing behind the fleet. They came to conquer before even seeing the red planet clearly, she said. Now they speak to us as equals. Miho smiled faintly. That is the real victory. Outside, the human war fleet remained in perfect formation. Strong, silent, ready. The galaxy had learned something important. Earth was not a weak world waiting to be claimed. Earth was defended, and humanity would never kneel. The ceasefire with the Galactic Council did not bring celebration. It brought silence. The human war fleet remained near Jupiter, strong and ready. The silver envoy ship stayed at a careful distance. No weapons were active, but no one trusted peace too quickly. Commander Sun stood in the command deck and watched both fleets on the holographic map. Earth was safe behind them. Mars moved slowly in its orbit, still untouched by war. Council message incoming, Mira reported. Sun nodded. Put it through. The envoy appeared on the screen again. Its voice was calm, but there was something different in its tone now. Respect. Commander Sun, it said. The Council has reviewed the battle data. Your fleet strength exceeds previous estimates by a large margin. Day gave a small smile. That was the idea. Sun kept her expression neutral. Your Council misjudged Earth. Yes, the envoy admitted. We believed humanity was divided and focused only on internal matters. Yuri spoke quietly from his station. We were divided once. Sun looked at him and then back at the envoy. We learned from history. The envoy paused before continuing. The Council now understands that Earth is a unified military power. We request formal introduction as an equal civilization within this sector. Hannah's eyes widened slightly. Equal, she whispered. Sun stepped closer to the screen. We will consider peaceful relations. But understand this clearly. If another fleet enters our system with hostile intent, we will not stop at defense. The envoy seemed to process the warning. Your meaning is clear. After the transmission ended, the room remained quiet. Miho broke the silence. They are afraid of us now. Fear is not the goal, Sun replied. Stability is. Jay studied long-range sensors again. Council space traffic has increased. Many signals moving away from this region. Day nodded. News spreads fast in a galaxy. Far beyond the solar system, Council worlds discussed Earth with caution. The destroyed Armada had been one of their strongest forces. Its loss changed political balance across several star systems. Some Council leaders demanded revenge. Others argued that attacking Earth again would risk greater loss. Humanity had proven something important. They were not prey. Back near Jupiter, repair crews finished restoring the damaged human ships. New hull plates were placed. Weapons were recalibrated. Drone carriers restocked their bays. On one quiet shift, Hannah visited the memorial chamber for the crew of the lost cruiser. A simple light glowed in the center of the room. Era joined her. They stopped a planet-killer weapon, Era said softly. Hannah nodded. Because of them, Earth is still here. Era placed her hand gently on the wall beside the memorial light. Their sacrifice will not be forgotten. Meanwhile, Sun met with Earth's global leaders through secure holographic link. The leaders looked serious but proud. The Council offers equal status, one leader said. This changes everything. It changes perception, Sun corrected calmly. We were strong before they noticed. Another leader asked, do you recommend joining them? Sun considered carefully. We recommend limited cooperation, shared science, monitored trade, but no surrender of authority. Earth must remain independent. The leaders agreed. Humanity would step into the wider galaxy, but not as a subject. Days later, a formal transmission was prepared. On the flagship, Day stood beside Sun as she recorded the message. To the Galactic Council, Sun began, her voice clear and steady. Earth acknowledges your request for equal dialogue. We accept peaceful contact under mutual respect. We will share knowledge and trade fairly. But understand this truth. Earth defends its own. Any aggression will be met with decisive response. She paused for a moment. We did not seek war. You brought it to our system. Before your Armada even saw Mars clearly, it was destroyed. Remember that lesson. The message was sent across deep space. The Council replied within hours. Formal recognition of Earth as an independent equal power. When the news reached Earth, cities lit up in celebration. Not for victory alone, but for survival. Children looked up at the night sky and saw stars differently. They no longer saw only mystery. They saw a place where humanity had stood its ground. On the flagship, the mood was calm but proud. Jay leaned back in his chair. From secret shipyards to open recognition, he said quietly. Mira smiled. Not bad for a species they called primitive. Day walked to the viewing window. Mars glowed softly outside. They thought they could reach Earth without resistance, he said. They never even reached this planet clearly. Sun joined him at the window. Strength kept us alive, she said. Unity made us strong. Miho entered with updated reports. Council envoy preparing to leave our system peacefully. No hostile signals detected. Escort them safely beyond Saturn, Sun ordered. Let them return with the truth. The human war fleet formed a respectful distance escort around the silver ship. No weapons aimed. No threats made. The envoy transmitted one final message before departing. Earth has changed our understanding of young civilizations. We will remember this encounter. So will we, Sun replied. The silver ship vanished into faster-than-light travel, leaving only silence behind. For the first time in weeks, the solar system felt calm. Day turned toward Sunday. Do we stand down? Sun shook her head gently. We remain ready. Peace does not mean weakness. Orders were given for part of the fleet to return to hidden stations. Others would continue patrol beyond Jupiter. A new era had begun. Hannah looked at the star map once more. The galaxy knows us now. Yes, Jay said. And they will think carefully before testing us again. Sun addressed the full fleet one last time before returning to Earth. You defended our home, she said. You showed the galaxy that humanity stands together. This is not the end of our journey. It is the beginning. Stay ready. Stay united. Across thousands of ships, officers and crew listened with quiet pride. The human war fleet slowly turned back toward the inner solar system. Mars passed beneath them, glowing red and peaceful. Earth waited beyond, blue and alive. The alien armada that came to conquer had been destroyed before Mars came into full view. The galaxy had learned a lesson written in broken ships and silent space.